Spark a conversation, verbal elation, stimulation, education. This is Menage with the Mary Jane Maven. When we on the air, it's always a lituation. Might talk about some litigation, might talk about some immigration, might talk about some politics, but never talking nonsense. Yes, we on in the slide. Watch and listen, it's a vibe. Watch it while you getting high, or you can listen while you drive. Just don't forget to subscribe.
Roll up. Trying to get high.
Welcome to Menage with the Mary Jane Maven podcast with your host, the Mary Jane Maven. I am the producer, the hubby. Follow us on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Show us some love and click that subscribe button now. Don't forget to click the bell so you get notifications and click the like button on the videos.
And now, your host.
Hey, guys. I miss you guys so much. I know it's been a minute. Welcome back. You know, this is your girl, the Mary Jane Maven. I, took a little bit of a break, celebrate my birthday, and because of that, I need a little recovery time. But I am back. We are going to get deep into, some education tonight. We have some really good topics and some things to celebrate. And it's always a celebration when this very special guest co-host is in the house. I mean, might as well just call you a co-host. You're not even a guest at this point. Gosh, this is what, our 18th month? And I think this is what, your 4th or 5th time on? Love it. So we're going to keep that going. Whenever I have you on, I think about the host of SNL and how they have that like special host club.
Yes.
So we're going to have to come up with like a special jacket for you and a routine or a monologue. No, I'm kidding. So everybody, please welcome back dear friend, somebody that I just, every time I talk to her, that we talk again, I thank the universe for bringing us together, because I definitely consider her so much more than just a cannabis, acquaintance or another ganjapreneur. Definitely, this is a friend. And I'm so happy that she is on tonight to share with us about MONTHLEAF and the 420 box, because we know our holiday's coming up. And just to kind of catch up. So everybody, welcome back. My friend, the one who let me know that Stevie Wonder can actually see, Miss Miss Bryanne from MONTHLEAF. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for that intro. But it is a conspiracy theory that Stevie Wonder is not blind. I truly believe him if he says he's blind.
I don't know. I mean, the man was driving.
That just have evidence to say that maybe he's not as blind as we believe.
Yeah. Like he could probably, like, maybe he doesn't see just like darkness. Maybe he actually sees, like shapes and whatnot. I know he can find a woman's body. That's for sure. Because I haven't stopped him from having kids. Because I think he just had another kid. Like, I think he's like 94. But and I want to say he's had another child within the last 5 years. I want to say 5 to 7 years. Yeah.
Damn.
If Stevie Wonder is singing My Sharia more to you, you might just be like, hey, open it up.
Yeah, damn, that's impressive.
Right. So, guys, we haven't changed much. I know, like I said, I haven't been on. I hope that you guys have been getting your fill of me through the Boondocks podcast. You guys know that I am 1/3 of a panel there. Pretty soon, I'm going to be bringing you a couple of more shows, some more content. It shouldn't be a surprise that if I could talk about something, I'm going to talk about it. But I hope that you guys have been, following me there and maybe going and looking at some of the clips that the hubby has been putting up. Some of the other collaborations and other shows that I've been a guest on, he's put up recently. So if you guys didn't catch that, go back and get your life. Get you some Mary Jane and check those out. So we're going to start off with a quote here. Tonight's episode is really going to be why is my alarm going off? Oh, I think hubby lost his keys because all of a sudden my car is going off. Did he lose the keys? What's going on here? So this episode, sorry guys. Do. Um, this episode is going to be full of celebration of where this industry is going. We are actually making some strides here, like within other states. Locally, we have some really cool things going on. I just got off of one of the topics. I just got off of her LinkedIn, letting her know, girl, I'm about to talk you up tonight. And I have something new to share. And Bryanne, I mean, we don't want to brag. I'll beg for her, but 2020 wasn't that bad of a year for her, in business. And, personally, she's had some great, successes and things going on. So this is going to be a celebration tonight. Celebrate. So before we get into all that, I'll just say this, guys. I have been celebrating my birthday for about a month and 2 weeks now. So if I'm a little goofy, it's residual of Tito's. We'll just say that. So our quote tonight is from none other than Auntie Snoop. Me and her, we call him Auntie. And this quote is, if you guys watch the verses, then you guys will get why we call him Auntie. But Snoop says, they legalized alcohol. They legalized tobacco. What is it going to hurt to legalize this medical marijuana that's used for purposes of cataracts? I mean, loved you, Auntie Snoop, but God, there was so many like grammatical things wrong in that little 4 sentences. But snaps to him. Let's read. I'll read another one because this is this is a good one. This is from Mike Tyson, and this really doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about tonight, but I like it. Mike Tyson says, Tupac Shakur always wanted me to smoke weed with him, and I never did, and I wish I did. That's my biggest regret. I mean, facts.
Yeah, I don't know how you could say no. I mean, yeah.
I mean, come on now. Yeah. So, and of course, we know a friend with weed is a friend indeed. And it's this country is getting to that point where there's going to be a lot of people that, friends have that weed. And, people are going to start taking control of their health and wellness and how they choose to, live the best and optimize their health and wellness, the way that they see fit, not by a doctor writing you prescription after prescription after prescription. Oh, that's not okay. I was like, why am I going off? So before we get into some of the topics tonight, we're going to talk about, pop canna culture. I do have a Mary Jane keeps me sane. So it's a little rant that I'm going to go on for just a hot second there. But first, I want to give all kind of shout out to not a new brand, but a brand that I kind of made it my duty to test out their products, and that is Ball Family Farms. And I will say that I was super excited when I Instagrammed about it, and they immediately, shared my story because I'm putting it out there now. Chris Ball, you must be a guest on my podcast. If you guys don't know anything about Ball Family Farms, get on Auntie Google, find out where you can go and get their strains. Fire. All right. So first and foremost, their strains are named after, like my husband likes to say, a staple of Black cinema, after characters in movies that really mean a lot, within our culture. So, well, other than Daniel LaRusso, because Karate Kid, of course, is not a Black movie, but he has a strain called Daniel LaRusso. I want to say it's 35% THC or something. We smoked that eighth expeditiously like that. I was like this on my jar. I was like, we went through that already. Really, really very good. The next one we had was Show Enough. Have you ever seen The Last Dragon?
I have not. I'm so sorry.
I absolutely love you. But in order to be friends with Black people, these are things to know. You guys should totally see it. Like, get baked, watch it. It's so 80s, but it it was Quincy Jones. I think he was the one who wrote it and directed and everything. It was his homage to what was it, Quincy Jones? Motown. Yes. Oh, Barry Gordy. Barry Gordy. The other old black. The other one who like just completely molded music. But it was his homage to kung fu movies.
Oh,
It's so good. So he has a strain called Show Nuff, who's a character there. So if you ever heard anybody go kiss my Converse, it's from that movie.
okay.
And there's a character.
Now.
Yeah. So there's a character, Laura Charles, who was the love interest, who was the ingenue. And she was played by the actress Apollonia. I'm sorry, Vanity. Vanity. Did I say actress? Yeah. Well, yeah, because she wasn't acting very well. Yes, musician, if you want to call it that. She was in. You've seen Purple Rain.
Yes, I have.
Well, she wasn't never his backup singer. She was in Vanity 6, but in Purple Rain, Morris Day. They weren't. Morris Day put them together. So do you remember the song when they're like, "If you want to be with me in my own little nasty world tonight"? Yes. So the main girl, that's Vanity. So she played Laura Charles. So awesome strains here in our area. You can find them at a couple of dispensaries where I go to, and I think they have the best price and they have the best customer service. Shout out to Main Stage. That's where I go. Now, on the other hand, I am paying prices for eights that I paid when I was in college. I get it. It's a great product, but give your girl a promo code or something, because I walked out of there with taxes and everything. I was like, I just paid $100 and some odd dollars for a gram of concentrate and for an eighth. But it was my birthday, so it was okay. But yes, and for research. So I will give that a huge Mary Jane Maven stamp of approval. You guys, please get some of that into your life ASAP. What we're going to do now, though, is let's get into our spark and salutations, and then we're going to jump into what's going on in the world. I am smoking on tonight. This is Lucky Mexico, and it is courtesy of
Chapo.
my very favorite farmers market. Shout out to Chapo, the fam, Chapo Kingdom. They keep me laced, so really good. And then we've been thanks to the stimmy, thanks Joe Biden, I went ahead and bought a nectar collector. So your girls be doing a lot of dabbing lately. And they do have some really good concentrates as well. I will say the best one they had was this strain called Dreamweaver. It smelled delicious. It tasted delicious. The terps were crazy. So shout out to them for everything that they continue to do and, providing medicine to those that need it. So shout out to them as always, the Chapo. So what I want to start off with is I want to give a quick shout out to my content creator of the week. I think that it's really good to kind of give back and to give roses to those that are in your same field. And I highly recommend that people go follow this young woman's channel. Her name is Amber Scholl. I absolutely love her. I have cheered, I have cried during her videos, and if I ever meet her, I am so going to geek out and be like, oh, just like crazy. I'm learning a lot from her about manifestation and about being comfortable with who you are and, living your truth and making your realities, making your dreams a reality. You guys have been, on this journey with me for the past 18 months. So, I highly believe in that, but she's doing it in front of the entire world. She's doing it on YouTube and doing it dope. Like Bryanne, I'm telling you, go follow her page. She has made dresses out of garbage bags. She she's so creative, but she just has this great spirit about her as well. So I wish I had somebody to hook her up with because she deserves somebody that really loves her, and somebody who's going to afford how much she likes to shop. But so I definitely want to give a shout out to her, and I hope that maybe this gets to her. Maybe have people send her a clip, but I definitely want to share as I've always done kind of vision boards, and I'll be very honest. They've been here, or like I use an app on my phone. But she did a broadcast where she talked about hers, and it was just very this awesome producer over here. This is her page. She's the cutest Tridell ever.
I am all about the vision boards myself.
Yeah.
Last week, I looked over at my board and I was like, holy shit, I like did everything on the board.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, so I spent a night and like redid my whole vision board and I updated it all. Everything personal that I wanted to accomplish was already on there. Everything business-wise I wanted to accomplish was already on there. And I was like, shit, I gotta have bigger dreams.
That's awesome. Can you turn her down? Huh?
I didn't know she was talking.
Oh yeah. I hear Bryanne clearly, but Amber's just blah, 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 blah. With her, it's so cute. Like she just her vibe and everything about her is infectious. But I did pick out my pictures. I sent them to Walmart so that I can, if I have them physically, then I will go ahead and put them on right next to our pictures from when we went to the mixer that are right on my corkboard right here. Like that's on my corkboard.
They're on our fridge.
Yeah, see, and shout out to Trevor because he is slowly trying to get back in the mixers, and he actually has one this evening. Yeah, and actually had gotten us a ticket, and I forgot. So sorry, Trevor, but we'll be at any other event that you put on.
Next month we'll be there.
Yes. Yeah, he's doing it the right way. He's making very small. And he's kind of working with other businesses and I think kind of helping them, put on events and whatnot. So shout out to Trevor Fong, Sacramento's own. But so shout out to Amber. Next week, I already have my content creator of the week. And this is I love her. I wish I was as put together as she is at 22 years old. Her channel is called Pretty Boy XOXO. You already know she started as a stripper vlog, but in the year that we've been watching her, you can tell that is not where she was supposed to be. Like that was her means to an end to be able to get to what her true purpose is, and she's awesome. I love her too. So I'll talk about her more next week. But yeah, I definitely want to start giving highlights to the content creators because it's not easy. You're really sharing your life. But you were chosen to do that. You have a story to tell. You have a platform, and YouTube just happens to be the one, and so I'm very excited to see her growth as she moves more into her womanhood. So shout out to her. We'll talk about her more next week. Now, unfortunately, on to some kind of depressing news, as I'm sure everybody knows, or as everybody should be, sending out all kind of prayers and positive energy to DMX. I know hubby and I were talking the other day, and I was like, Prince hurt, Michael Jackson hurt, Pac hurts. This is along the lines of Pac. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has such. If you've ever been a fan, you know that he has demons that he has never really truly gotten over. Yeah. But that's what makes him such a good artist because he's able to use his music as his therapy. I will say that I've always thought that one day, Extra was going to be reporting on the fact that DMX opened up his own church or his own ministry or something like that. If you're a fan, you've heard that man pray. That's what he's meant to do. I think he is purposed to to speak to others and to touch others and to share his pain and his journey. But unfortunately, it's not anything that I think he's ever resolved. And that's just always a ghost or a demon that has stayed around him.
Well, you and I talked about how like recently he looked really good, and like recently, like it looked like he was really taking care of himself,
like he'd been eating like 4 or 5 steaks and potatoes, and like he's been eating good.
So like maybe he got like, we don't know what happened, obviously, but like, you know, with everyone having demons, everyone having a history of using drugs, maybe he got clean and went back to a dose that he used to take. We don't know.
It could have been the success from the verses that he had earlier this year, because I think it was definitely kind of a resurgence. He's coming out with a new album. So he's been in the studio. So very well could be. But then again, DMX has been doing things and abusing his body for years. Yeah. And I'm not placing blame. I'm not saying this is why. I'm not being TMZ with it, because TMZ, of course, overdose, heart attack, and it's like, instead of just saying somebody that this world and this universe was blessed with and all the good music and the messages that he's left us, like, go ahead and let's, get down on your knees and pray for him. But of course, TMZ has to be so sensational with it. So this is kind of like my Mary Jane keeps me sane, my little kind of gripe why, I medicate. I don't understand why the narrative has to be so negative when it comes to Black men. When it comes to Black men being killed, we don't show their wedding day picture. They don't show him picking up his son after he hit his first home run. They don't show him laughing with his coworkers coming out of his job. What do they show? If he happens to have a mugshot, that's what they show.
Yeah.
I don't know how prosecutors can do their job, or not prosecutors. Bless you.
Thank you.
How the defense can do their job for Chauvin right now, because there's no way that I, as a human being, can sit up and berate George Floyd's fiance or girlfriend about their opioid use. What the fuck does that have to do with the price of tea in China? He was not popping fucking opioids while Chauvin was digging his hands in his pocket and putting pressure, through his knee onto his neck. That has nothing to do with it. So I really hope that justice is done. I want him to go and live with a big bubba who's a booty snatcher in a correctional facility for a good amount of time of his life. That's what I want. Anything short of that, this country needs to be prepared. That's honestly, like, we can't sugarcoat it. We can't think everything's going to be okay. It's happened too often. And I think that a large part of our society showed that last summer when everything happened.
Yeah. And remember how they betrayed the people that, like, part of the insurrection that died, like that woman that died.
Oh,
it's awful that she died. But they painted her as a veteran. They painted her as a hero, and
her husband didn't even know that she was off.
Her husband did. Oh, she was going with some friends. No, motherfucker, you knew exactly why she was going.
Yeah, they painted her very differently than how they painted people that are Black and have been killed by the police. Like,
Bree, that we would be talking about, if it had been a group of Black people, we would be talking about the mass burial that has happened.
Dead. Yeah, they would all be dead. They wouldn't have been arrested. There
wouldn't have been all those funny videos of them being kicked off planes in the airport. That's what was hilarious.
No, like during the Black Lives Matter protests.
The
FBI found a woman by going to, like, finding a shirt that she was wearing, found who sold it on Etsy, located her, and arrested her that way. And yet we're still trying to find people from the insurrection. Like,
we still have the shaman in the jail crying and shit because he can't get his vegan food. Shut the hell up, dude. You're in jail, fucker. Nobody gets what they want. You guys barely get fresh fruits and vegetables. Nobody cares about your...
He was refusing to eat, so they moved him. He's getting everything he wants.
It's bullshit.
Okay, if you were black, they would have just told you to shut the fuck up and starve. You know,
Girl,
like, oh,
he wouldn't have made it out of the Capitol with the freaking
That's true. That is
podium,
true.
you know. And then the old man that sat at Pelosi's desk. I mean, the
Oh
stuff
my
that's coming out, the fact that they were smearing shit on the walls, like, what is patriotic about that?
And he also, like, the guy that, like, stole the mail and,
Yeah.
like, opened up her mail, he was like, I just stumbled into her office. And it's like, think about the privilege that
You had your feet up.
stumble into someone's office.
And what's so funny is, like, I feel like the universe is going, you guys good? It's like, this doesn't make up for slavery, but are you guys enjoying yourselves? Because these idiots, like the one who wore his freaking badge, his work badge, to the insurrection. So he was found out, like, the shit was over at 6. He was identified on Twitter by 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
yeah, okay, for being anti-maskers, like, this is the one time not to be an anti-masker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all of them were not wearing masks, so it's like, all right, really easy to figure out who you are.
yeah, and then besides the fact that you were on your social media.
Yep. Everyone was connected to the internet so they could live stream.
Yep. Yeah. And then you idiots, you're walking into a government building, a federal. You don't think they have ways of tracking you? Every time you walk into that building, it's pinging your phone.
Yep.
You know? So besides the fact that they have all your phone records, and you bright asses are wearing a t-shirt that says January 6th, I was there. I mean, look, I always say, we don't handle the mental, you know, before Reagan, we took care of people. You know, we had mental health care and things like that, mental care. There's no care for people just not having any common sense of being fucking idiots. Like, some of these people, I don't understand how they pay bills, how they knew where to put their penis to make babies. Like, I don't get it.
I don't get how, like, these people, I don't want to, like, call them these people, but the people that believe that the insurrection was okay, the people that believed that, like, their fight was a good fight, I don't understand how they think that they can use the same language as the Me Too movement, as
the Black Lives
Matter movement. Like, they, like, talk about, like, wearing a mask and, like, I can't breathe. Like, using the language, I can't breathe with a mask.
Right?
Like, who the fuck are you?
Like, well, if you can't breathe, maybe you should stop being 700 pounds and having diabetes and, like, breathing problems. That's why you can't breathe. It's not because they ask you to put a mask on to go in freaking Walmart. Like, I'll be very honest, it's second kind of nature. Like, I actually accidentally walked into 7-Eleven today, and I was like, oh shit, my mask on, you know, and I felt guilty. And I've had one of two vax, you know, vax, you know, I'm halfway vaxxed, as they're calling it. I love how we have to change everything to a slang kind of term or whatever. But that's the difference between people like us and everybody else who's about themselves.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
yeah. It's like,
look at the Rangers game this past weekend.
Like, it's
40,000 people. 40,000 people.
No.
All had to go to this Rangers game. Like, it was just imperative that they and Miami, you know, they had crazy spring break. Let me tell you, it was definitely our entertainment for the 2 weeks that I was going on. Every night we were like, go and Google or, you know, go to YouTube to see Miami spring break. Like, the shit that was going on there, I'm just like, I get wanting to get back to normal, but we'll get there. Like, we made it through the year. We made it. And so all we have to do is just sit back and shut the fuck up. Until, like I say, if everybody just stayed their asses at home, minded what they needed to do until end of May, I think we'd be fully back open summer.
They,
you know?
I just don't understand. Like, everyone has accepted that, like, when you go into a store, you have to wear shoes, you have to wear a shirt.
Right?
Like, it is accepted that all women have to cover their tits. Like,
unfortunately, which is dumb.
But
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Why can't we just add one more layer to that? There was a time when seatbelts weren't a thing. And then we added that layer of being a thing. And
it was times when it was okay for children to ride in the back of the pickup truck with nothing.
like
There was, you know what I'm saying?
We've evolved.
You know, we
not
watched the crash test dummies over and over again, and we were all like, wait, yeah, I think I do want to put that on. So why is it so hard? I mean, I will say this, Black people, anything we can do to make our outfits look better, we will do. So I'm going to say Black folks have stepped up, because if I see somebody like head to toe, mask matching, shoes matching, everything, like, you know, now the younger ones that think they, you know, are just omnipotent and, like hubby says, thinks that water isn't wet, you know, we'll see when you know, when you get sick and you're calling for your mommy to come take care of you. My biggest thing is, do you love your grandparents? Do you love your parents? Do you like your aunt and uncle? Do you like your neighbor? So if so, put on a fucking mask. Like, it's not that hard. You know, Disneyland's going to be there. Miami's going to be there. Mexico's going to be there. Cruise ships may or may not be there, but you may have an option to do that. Just stay at home. And if you are going to start doing things, doing them in small groups. You don't have to have 300 people at your 30th birthday when you don't even talk to more than 10 of them, you know? So it's, once again, it's just about being communal and really just caring about other people, guys. It's not that hard. Try it. It makes you feel good. It actually does. It does. So we kind of got off talking about DMX, but I think, you know, we share the same sentiment. We want him to be okay.
Yes.
I know that by medical standards, like, you know, the chances of him making it are slim. However, this universe is very, 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 very wise and very purposeful. And he seems like he's very strong-willed. I don't think, you know how you watch movies and in the movies people are in a coma, and in that time they're going through something, like they're talking to people or whatever else. I tend to believe that that's probably what he's going through now. I tend to believe that he may be getting that closure that he needs to, and that he's gonna come out and it's like music's gonna be fiercer. He's gonna. I really, really, really believe that, and I choose to believe that more over than what's the day that we're all going to be talking about, the day that, DMX passed. So, and I will continue to say this. I refuse to believe that anybody that did that scene in Belly is going anywhere anytime soon. And I think I told you about it before. If you haven't watched it, Auntie, Google it. Yes. Oh, yes. Him and Keisha, everything snaps. So, before I get into a whole another topic of this, I just really quickly I definitely want you to share about what's going on with you, the 420 box, the changes that you made, and what the future looks like. But I do want to give a huge shout out to a couple of local cannabis success stories, and the first of which being the United Core Alliance, the UCA, friend to the show, Brandon Bolton, and another gentleman, Khalil Ferguson. I believe that is his last name. They are actually working with, if people in Sacramento know, and if you know, send me that money that you're going to spend in the cookie store, because that is not cheap. But we've recently gotten a cookie store here. Shout out to Burner. And they're they created a partnership with Cookies where it is a workforce program. So if you are interested in getting into cannabis and you qualify for the Sacramento County Equity Program, then you can apply to be in this program. So I went through the application. It's very simple Google Doc. You say what you're interested in. So maybe you're interested in cultivation. You mark that box. And what they're going to try to do is, with the help of Cookies, is provide you education, which imperative. We know what I say: educate, eradicate, elevate. That's how this industry is going to completely become normalized. But they're going to provide you with the proper education. I do believe as well you will go through the Sacramento Equity Program, which is great. And then they will help you get into the aspect of cannabis that you are wanting to get into. So shout out to them because you guys are not only doing the first most important part of equity, but you're showing other cities how it needs to continue to be. So we don't only need to go ahead and put them through the program, but we also need to have a business. And somebody like Berner, I mean, that man, I think, has easily written the book on what it is to be to create a cannabis brand. He does a great job at it. So I would love to interview him one day as well. So that's the first one. So shout out to you, shout out to Cookie, shout out to UCA, Brandon Khalil, anybody that gets to be a part of the program. I would love to definitely have you on and find out about your experience and the education that you're receiving. The second is really good news. I mean, this woman just keeps blowing up. And this is the CEO of Crystal Nugs, which is a very successful women-owned, first Black women-owned delivery service in Sacramento. And she just found out, I think 4 or 5 days ago, that she was approved for a storefront. So not only does she have her own cannabis line, and please forgive me if I'm pronouncing this incorrectly, Bahati. And you get her products. I believe they're at a couple stores here in Sacramento, but of course through Crystal Nugs. Batty, is it? Bahati? Oh God. Yeah. Well, we're gonna talk about her too. Thank you for reminding me. Good Lord, making $1 million on OnlyFans. Just not fair. Anyways, shout out to her. Her Miko Banks. Oh my God, I feel horrible for drawing a blank on. Betty, I believe she was like the first graduate. John, who's a good friend of mine. Even Lisi B, Brandon, those that have gone through the program, and they are creating the Sacramento cannabis equity story. They are having a huge hand in whether or not this, we're going to use it the way that it should be used to help those that have been disenfranchised from it the most in all of history. So I go to main stage. I go to farmers markets, but I will be a customer of the storefront. This is huge. So congratulations to her. I did say that I'm going to send her this clip as well. So I want to make sure that I do that. So shout out to the local success stories that are happening. Oh, and actually, I forgot myself. So, your girl is back out there as a brand educator for a cannabis brand, which is Cann, CANN, and they are. You guys, I will share some more information. I'm going to do a little mini episode in a couple of days, and so I'll do a little bit more of a brand, kind of feature. But yay, for those of you that have been missing to see me anywhere between Napa and Modesto, just hold on. I'm coming. And I'm coming back ready to educate even more so. Congratulations to me.
Congratulations.
So we have some huge shout outs to give in some states as well. So I'm going to make this really quick. Virginia is the first southern state to legalize recreational marijuana. They just did it a day ago. Shots out, VA. Yeah, that could have fire, all right. And let's see. What is that date for? I don't know what I wrote. Oh, it starts July 1st. Maybe I should just not write crazy things on my notepad here. Connecticut, the lawmakers have approved the governor's weed legislation bill to approve it there as well. So shout out to Connecticut. Y'all have a lot of people out there that could probably, be loosened up a lot. So it's good, that you guys are approving this in Connecticut. Alabama approved medical marijuana. North Carolina is currently working on it. basically kind of getting, their plan and everything together. Their legislation. I know, hubby, if you can hear me, you could probably talk about it. Mr. Politics man back there. He probably can, describe that. But Louisiana, 2/3 of Louisiana voters support legalization. So that is getting the ball rolling there as well. And guys, this has all happened within the last week. Okay. That's fire. That's a lot of progress within a short amount of time. One which I think is huge, New York legalizes marijuana as well, and it's recreational. And they are really working fast and hard to create a social equity program. Definitely trying to right all the wrongs that have been done against people of color within New York. And the last big announcement is Charles Koch, Koch. I know that he's a very influential businessman, but he has him and Auntie Snoop announced a alliance. They're going to be working together to help build equity and to kind of right the wrongs and bring social justice and just even the playing field and just provide more opportunities within cannabis to people of color through their Cannabis Freedom Alliance. So a couple people have, some pretty deep pockets, which is huge, guys, because that is what is a big obstacle for a lot of people of color. When you have to have $1 million freaking dollars just to pay, the state and the city and whatnot, that dream becomes so far-fetched, and we don't want that. We want everybody to, I say all the time, the person that has other than the cure that we already have for cancer, big pharma, there's somebody out there that could be the world's greatest horticulturalist and cultivator and, and grow that strain that just brings everybody together, So shout out to all the huge accomplishments that have happened in the world of cannabis, especially after our president, just swung his sword and fired some people from his cabinet for admitting to medicating like they have their grown ass right to do, but they lost their jobs because of it.
Yeah, I feel like we're taking steps backwards. What did Hubby say?
She say it again, babe.
I was just saying that a lot of the Obama's policies, Biden's been re-implementing and following, talking about he had a big hand in. But Obama, at least the second term, was leaning towards legalizing marijuana, and Joe Biden is obviously the complete opposite of that.
Yeah, didn't he tell the general surgeon, or not the surgeon general, or whoever, like, hands off? Basically, it was like laissez-faire about cannabis. Yeah, like, let the states handle it. Yeah. Yeah.
He told him to stop worrying about it and let the states do it. They weren't going to worry about it anymore.
Yeah. And so Bree and I were talking beforehand, and I feel like that's what Biden's doing. Instead of him coming out and completely legalizing it and helping this country and people really get back on their feet, you sending checks is great. Please send a couple more. There's a whole new term for stimulus now. They're called stimmies. It's a whole new thing. People are very, very much needed it. But it needs more. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, student loan forgiveness.
He's not leaving it up to the states when, even if he doesn't come out and condemn it, by him firing his own cabinet or people that work for him because they smoke, he's pretty much coming out and condemning.
True.
The thing is that, like, from like the beginning of like the 1900s, the federal government has done studies, and every single time the doctors come to the president and say they did it with Nixon, they did it with Bush.
Yeah.
They were like
recordings, right? Of like them talking, and
there's no evidence to support that cannabis is harmful, and every single time they don't change it. Like, there is so much evidence. Did you know that the federal government is providing like patients with cannabis?
I was just gonna, and has been
purpose, and they have been this whole entire time. So the federal government,
it's in Mississippi, like where they grow it, and that's where a lot of their. So they said we were doing it because of the first patients of AIDS. That's what they touted it as. And they were giving people a fucking ounce like a month.
It
Yes.
was always
Like,
a rumor when we went to Davis that they actually grew marijuana at UC Davis.
Yes. Yes. Nixon, like his
I believe it.
I forget what position the guy served for Nixon, but he literally said the reason why they didn't legalize it was because they wanted to keep black people in jail.
Mexican people. Yeah.
They wanted to keep people that were Hispanic and people that are
That's
black.
why they named it marijuana, because it sounded Spanish Mexican.
Yes.
And that, yeah.
We have all this evidence. We have all this evidence.
Yes.
And we still won't legalize it. I forget what state it was in the South, but their governor made a press conference and was like, the studies are out there that cannabis will kill your kids. So we will never legalize
like,
it.
shut up. And if one more person gets on Fox News and says pot or like that, like, I want to poke their eyes out through the TV. Like, you're telling me that after you're binging 4 nights of snorting coke and drinking and, you know, doing whatever else, you haven't puffed any weed. Get the fuck out of here. Like,
you have to smoke like 4 freight trains full of weed within like 20 minutes to overdose, and no one can do that
at all.
There's not enough time.
Cat Williams said the best thing. Weed makes you do what? A few things. Sleepy, hungry, happy, horny.
Yep.
Yes, that's it. And he goes, and not in that word. That is it. And if they want to say anything is detrimental, yeah, it's kids going and buying $10 fucking packs of backwoods and smoking in that. But then again, we used to buy the box of 60 Swishers, and we do that shit every 7 days. You know, we were in college. So, you know, it's always going to be something. So, but to make up shit and to strip people's rights from being healthy, and if they happen to be afflicted with something that does affect their life, allow them to have the control of the quality of life that they live for however long they're going to live it. You know, me smoking and then laying down and watching fucking, you know, Napoleon Dynamite and just watching Hulu, how was that hurting you? It's not. It's actually helping the economy, because I'm going to hit up, you know, Postmates, and then we're going to go across the street to 7-Eleven. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's
the fact that
also the argument that like weed makes you lazy. It's like, all right, that's a hell of a lot better than like alcohol making you really angry. You know, that's a hell of a lot better than like the drugs that like doctors are prescribing you.
Yes, that are heroin.
Yeah.
You know, one of the shows that I was on, actually 2 that I've been on, I've been asked this question, like, well, what about, you know, the people that are lazy or don't get things done? And I said, look, they can have weed, they cannot. It's them. Weed doesn't get in your body and go, oh, let's be lazy today. No. Let's not be anything in life. Let's be a shitty, you know, husband or wife or mothers. No, that's that person. So once again, if we want to get to the core reason of why people are like that, let's go back to the lack of mental health care and mental support that's needed. Thanks, Reagan.
Yeah, thank you. I am of the personal belief that like we should just make all drugs legal, because like, I don't know if you've heard of the Clean Needle Project, but they work with people that do drugs via needles.
Yeah.
And they will give you clean needles, no questions asked, but you need to hear a lecture from them.
Yeah. And don't you have to like do it there, preferably, like at the facility?
Yes. And they have reduced the amount of people doing drugs because they've talked about it with them.
I mean, what part of the world has that right now? And they have like
a bunch of places in the world are doing,
like Sweden, I think they have like very low, you know, criminal rates.
Because if you bring it out to the public, you don't like hide it in alleys and hide it in back doors. And make it part of the conversation. It brings a lot of awareness, and like if we legalize it, the government controls what's in it, so we know that it's going to be tested. We know it's going to be.
Which is why I also don't get why you guys will not legalize weed. Like there is drive down 99 or 5 going anywhere south. There's so much land from where you guys could have your control grow, and then people are employed, and people are happy, and people spend, and people are like we are so far from the American dream. It's a fucking joke, you know, but we are that delusional, you know, hot girl or a hot guy in high school that just, you know, is going with the flow. And we're just, you know, think that our shit don't stink. And it definitely stinks. It has a huge, long lasting stench. But
Well, the
I
American,
think what is Seattle just did that, right?
they
decriminalized?
they legalized mushrooms, and they legalized they decriminalized psychedelics.
Mm-hmm. Which the part of California in Alameda County did that as well.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I had one good time with some very good penis envies. And I know several people that need to just take a little nibble off of one and sit down and just let their shit go, because it is super enlightening. I think that that's one of the times that you really become the energy that we exist as in this universe, because we're all just energy. That makes up this universe. So that's one time that probably sound like I just fried, like I just did so many mushrooms or something, but it's very enlightening.
I just read that, you know, Alcoholics Anonymous, AA.
Mm-hmm.
The founder, he started it because he tripped on shrooms, had a spiritual experience, and that stopped him from ever drinking alcohol again. And that's why AA, and it was all because he tripped on shrooms. And I think we've seen through history that if you make things illegal, people are still going to do it, but do it more dangerously. We've seen
abuse
with alcohol.
Yeah.
Think about all the people that died during Prohibition because they weren't making the alcohol correctly.
I mean, drinking the just rot gut type of alcohol, you know,
but 100% alcohol-proof stuff that people are dying from,
or being killed because people are robbing them, and you know,
it started mobs, Jesus, you know, if we legalized the other drugs and controlled it, it would prevent crime would go down, people dying overdoses would go down, because people are going to do it no matter what.
Yeah, I love Tito's. I love some good craft beer. But if I had a choice, I I could do without. I also drink water. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that alcohol has been the catalyst of, you know, and bad things. And of course it's not healthy. You know, you're not going to live a very good, last 20, 30 years of your life, probably, because you're going to have so many ailments. I mean, other than Betty White, because Betty White is 174. And Betty White says she drinks vodka and eats a hot dog every day.
Damn.
I mean, what? What kind of hot dogs are you eating?
I know.
Right. So, but yeah, I definitely agree. I think that if they did, I'm not gonna say if, when we have a cabinet that has the balls or the why did I forget? Well, what I was gonna say, what do we have? Ovaries. What do we have? Our ovaries that is needed to finally go, you know what? There's nothing but benefits behind that power. Like I say, there is power in that flower. And once again, if we would stop acting like we are just so freaking smart and just look back in history when it was being used eons ago, you know, but that's too much right, and we don't do that.
I mean,
but when it becomes legal.
In the early 1900s, it was prescribed by the pharmacist.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't cocaine and coke?
Yep, cocaine. Oh yeah, there's I forget what was in it, but chloroform, cocaine, those were all prescribed, and obviously we figured out that we probably shouldn't be prescribing those to patients. That's
why they used to dance the way they danced in the 20s. They were fucking lit. That's why they did the jitterbug shit like that. They were lit as fuck. It was so lit. But no, I agree. I mean, look at the pandemic. The numbers increased for weed, and the numbers for alcohol just kind of stayed the same. Now, as it went on, then I think they probably evened out, because people were like, "Oh shit, I can't just be on weed. I'm here with my children. I need some wine or something else,
they treat alcohol and weed or drugs differently. For example, back in the 20s or prohibition or when people were becoming addicted to alcohol, it was a problem. But now you're not addicted to alcohol, you're an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to drugs, you're addicted or you're a drug addict. Like it's just a different connotation, even though it means the same thing. And at one point in time, they referred to alcohol as the same way.
That's a good point. I think they glamorized it. So when Betty Ford admitted that she was an alcoholic, because let's be honest, probably were a lot of wives between the 30s and the 60s who were definitely husbands and wives, but definitely wives that were June Cleaver during the day. But as soon as everybody left the house, she was knocking back whiskeys and it was in her coffee and shit like that. So once somebody like that admitted to it, it kind of glamorized it. Then they were able to go ahead and tell, about the Rat Pack and you know what I'm saying? Then that became something that, like you said, it was more acceptable than was Etta James or Billie Holiday. Like all that they do is talk, they talk about a couple of their songs, but of course they talk about how they're drug addicts. Bob Dylan, wasn't he a drug addict? Like, who wasn't? I mean, who was? I found out in this last year there were so many songs that are about getting. There's a whole song called "Cocaine, Cocaine, Coke." Like he says over and over and over again, "Cocaine, cocaine, cocaine." Let's see, is it Bob Dylan or Eric Clapton?
Johnny Cash, doesn't he have a song "Cocaine Blues"?
Yeah, that's one too. Does he say cocaine like hella times in it? Because the one I'm talking about, he literally says like just cocaine, cocaine, cocaine over and over again.
Song?
Oh, gotta get you into my life. That's about weed. It's about weed. First of all, I was like, well, Earth, Wind, and Fire actually made it, and yeah. And I was like, oh, I totally know about the Earth, Wind, and Fire version, but it's totally about weed, which, hey, I agree. Let's see. Nope, this is not it. It's just bringing up images of cocaine everywhere. That's not it. I have it in my playlist, but I'll find it again.
I get targeted ads now. Just kidding.
I write. Oh my god! As soon as we get off, our YouTube's gonna be all cocaine. How to make it? So I do want to give a shout out really quickly. It's kind of like a sponsor thing, a little shout out, but as I shared earlier, I have been blessed with opportunities to collaborate and meet some really awesome podcasters that are, across the country, even across the world. And I have joined a few different, in the beta stages, have joined a few different podcasting platforms that are meant to, just foster relationships and to really be a place where creators can get together and help their podcasts and, really just fine tune their craft. I've met some really cool people through pod booking, so I want to give a shout out to them. But the one that's most impactful and the one that I'm really excited to be a part of is Afros and Audio. Afros and Audio is, what you would think, Afros. So it's a platform that is for Black podcasters and Black content creators. They are doing so many fantastic things for people of color that are content creators, whether you're a voice actor, whether you have a script that you want to put out there and you want it to be an audio storytelling. They're actually doing that. So they are doing kind of like, what someone who I kind of consider to be someone that I look up to in the world of content creation and in media, Charlemagne, how Charlemagne has taken his many blessings and his talents and he's sharing that now. By having Black Excellence Network. Kevin Hart is also extending that same, opportunity. But Afros, I will know them one day, but right now I don't. But Afros and Audio is like I said, it is it's exactly what I need when I'm feeling unheard as a Black podcaster, when I feel like maybe I don't have the resources that I need and I'm not able to reach out to anybody because just like anything, there's competition. So, some people will be very fake and, talk with you through social media, but everything, nothing would ever comes to fruition. And that drives me crazy. So Afros and Audio, like I said, it's a great platform for anybody that is a content creator, anybody that's a producer of a show. Like I said, anybody that's an inspiring voice actor. That's an untapped, and I'm just pulling up some information here. That's an untapped market that we are having the opportunity to get into now. I'm not sure if you guys know, but, The Simpsons, a lot of their longtime voice actors left their roles, and Hank Azaria, he's been doing Apu forever, and he left, well, kicking and screaming a little bit, but he left his role. The guy that does Cleveland Brown, which I don't think anybody could do Cleveland Brown. I'm watching that right now. You guys know how I like to watch my animation. So first it was Family Guy, then it was American Dad, which is, I think, the best, and then now I'm on the Cleveland show, which is just genius. Could have easily had 4 more seasons of that. Anywho, the Big Mouth, if you guys watch Big Mouth, the black girl that's on there, hubby doesn't get it. It is hilarious. It is animation gold. But she, she stepped down from her role. Jenny Slate, she stepped down from her role. I don't know anybody of color that was like, I want to be a voice actor. You want to be an actor, you want to be like, but voice acting takes just as much skill and talent. And because it is now a market that we're getting opportunities in, and we're getting these opportunities by creating them ourselves, and then by having them extended to us, that's something else we need to take advantage of. We have stories to tell. We have a lot of talent. Black people are hilarious, all right? Just get on Twitter when something happens. But man, y'all, I don't know if you guys work or not, but y'all just quick with the content, okay? But yeah, so Afros and Audio, please go ahead and check them out. If you guys would like to sign up, I have a very special link as an ambassador. It's kind of like a VIP, because I'm special. No, so yeah, so I'll be able to help you get started there, and you guys can hit me up on social media or anything else, and we could talk about it some more. And I'll probably talk a little bit more about them in this episode later this week as well. So shout out to Afros and Audio for supporting me and for sponsoring this episode. So, all right, girl, let's get into you. What's been going on? What do you have coming up for us in that fantastic holiday, which is 420? It's coming up so quick.
I know it is. So for 420, we're offering 4 months of boxes for 20% off. That's our promo. Yeah. So 420,
Yeah.
on it. So if you select a recurring box, you can check out with the promo code 420 deal, all lowercase for the deal part, no spaces, and you'll get 20% off for the next 4 months, and you can cancel anytime. So it's a great way to also try our
guys,
service.
I know, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I know all of my listeners, they're like, what? We already used Mary J. Maven's promo. This is much better, guys. Go ahead and take advantage of this. She's my dear friend, so I may even go ahead and try to take advantage of this to give to my dad. But no, that would be a great opportunity. You have a parent that you maybe want to get in. I found a delivery service in the Bay Area for my mom, and I've been sending her pins. Oh, and can I share this with you really quick?
Oh, yeah.
So it's really funny because your mom can smoke a pin. Your mom is
she's moved on to blunts and pre-rolls.
Oh, look at mom. I definitely got to go see her. See, at least it was pandemic that took, that was why I didn't see her for a year. But yes, mom, I'm coming, and we're going to get together, and we're about to roll up a Belize. Look at mom.
Yeah. She loves her glass tips. She definitely has preferences, and she's very bossy about it.
I could see your mom back in the day, drinking some Mad Dog 2020 or something and rolling up. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to see her. When you talk to her next, please give her a hug.
Oh, absolutely.
Through the phone, and then give her, a physical one. I can't wait to see your parents again. They are awesome people. But so I ordered my mom a pin, and I said, hey, whenever you want it, they have great deals. I actually wish I lived close to this delivery service, because I was like, are you guys just giving shit away? But I ordered her a pen and it was like 77, 80% THC. And she said she wanted to go to sleep. It was indica. So I was like, it'll be good. I'm like, Mom, take 3-second pulls 2 or 3 times and then put it down and see how you feel. My mom said the first time she was like doing French freaking smoke or whatever. Like, and she's going to hate me so much for this, but this is hilarious. So one night she smoked and turned on her noise machine. And she was listening to like a windstorm and got paranoid. And she was like, but I was too scared and then stuck to get up. I was like, Mom, but you knew it was your sound machine. Like, what? It's like, oh my God, you were not. I was like, okay, so maybe an edible is going to have to be better for her, but I don't know if she'll still eat it all. But yeah, no. So to avoid possibly a situation like that when you're trying to help your parents get, move into cannabis, Monthleaf would be a great option. And why not gift them for the great holiday of 420? So yeah, share a little bit more about what what the box includes, or
so the box includes, like, depending on what you customize your box to. It can include edibles. It can include all flower, pre-rolls, vapes. It can include a little bit of everything, CBD products. We did change up things in our box for this month, and it's going to keep going for every month following. We now give more information about all the pricing, so that way it's super clear exactly like how you're saving money every single month. We've included more gifts. So this month, everyone was getting mini bubblers. They're really cool. Everyone was also receiving debowlers. So they're a way to like clean out your bowl.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
The ash.
Look at that. That reminds me of Seth Rogen. Did you know he came out with a new cannabis line?
Yes.
And yeah, oh my God, please go watch his Jimmy Kimmel like appearance from like last week. Like, he was so freaking high and awkward. But his whole brand is called Houseplants.
Yeah.
Houseplants. So he's gotten into ceramics. So I was like, that's a pretty good fucking idea. To make ashtrays and holders and shit like that. I was like, that's pretty smart. So, very similar, you guys. You have your whole setup, to celebrate 420 there. That's actually a cool little bubbler.
Yeah, so everyone gets a bubbler, you get pipe cleaners, you get the debowler, so that way you can continue taking care of all the things that you got. All of our boxes always include lighters, rolling papers.
Yes, they do.
All the accessories that you need. So that's an example of one of our edible boxes. This is the promo photos that we took for Monthleaf.
Okay.
To really showcase all the gifts that you're getting. But yeah, so we're doing a lot of fun things in our box. I'm really excited for all the deals that we're negotiating right now.
Yeah, and hubby's showing your inserts that, and this is super, you guys, this is exactly what responsibility from cannabis brands includes.
Yeah.
It is letting you know, because overall, how much your aspirin is or your back medicine or whatever it is, like, that, so you're able to budget. This is also educating you. So a part of education and normalizing cannabis is having transparency with the products and the brands that you choose to, associate with. So definitely shout out to you in that. And that's something that I'm familiar with the other services. And, this is something that sets you apart, because this is definitely for more of a serious adult and probably somebody who has the budget to be able to commit to this. But also somebody who, I don't want to say has certain taste or, like just a certain level and past experiences of a type of consumer they are. So you're fitting into that.
Absolutely. Yeah, so
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and like our regular boxes are $100, and we're really showcasing how you're saving like over $50, $60, because the value of our box is anywhere between $150 to $200.
Yeah.
So this one is like valued at $180 with all the accessories and all of the cannabis products. So you're saving money every single month.
Every single time.
New products every single month. And then
I wish I could find the receipt from when I just told you guys a story about how I got an eighth and a gram of distillate, and it was $104. So compare those two items, which were pretty much gone in one evening, to what you're getting and with Monthleaf, and that's every month and something you can count on.
Yeah. And like
and they can pause it or cancel it at any time, right?
Oh, absolutely. Because we know that like we've had customers that are like, wow, we got a lot of product and we will not finish it all. Can we subscribe every other month?
I don't know what that's like.
Yeah, we've had customers come back to us and say, hey, can we have another box this same month? And it's like, yeah, we'll give you
That's
another
awesome.
box.
Oh, that's cool. So I didn't even know that you have that. So if you have the inventory, then you'll do that. Now I want to say, guys, I don't know if you guys followed the Instagram, but like 2 weeks ago, you would have seen the hardest working CEO doing deliveries in the Bay Area herself. That's dedication. You know what I'm saying? And that is for somebody like me and the type of consumer I am, I like that above and beyond customer service and that that experience that's tangible, you know. So that's really cool. So where have you guys expanded to? Any news there? Or
yeah, so we're in Sacramento, we're in Berkeley, Oakland, San Francisco. Did I just say San Francisco?
Mm-hmm.
And then West LA.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
So we sent our boxes out to some influencers in LA.
Mm.
Posting next week about it, so that's really exciting. If you're in Oakland or San Francisco or Berkeley, you might see us on the back of a receipt in Safeway or Bel Air. So that's really exciting. And then everyone in the Sacramento area will be getting a postcard in the mail from us in the next few weeks. So we're doing like a bunch of fun things with Monthleaf. We're negotiating some really good deals, so that way we can be throughout California very, very soon. So,
and guys, don't forget, you know, she still is half of the Create and Elevate. So, you know, definitely as we open back up, you know, more things will be coming up there. I still am going for that murder mystery party. Like that.
I still have all the files.
Oh yeah.
It's so bad.
That has to be the first thing. So, you know, so definitely Monthleaf will be involved there. I am working on an event called Spring Awakening.
Ooh.
And it will be where a past guest, co-host of mine, Dabby Longlegs, who is a dancer and like a pole intimacy instructor. She will put together a routine. I'm going to talk about cannabis and, you know, tapping into your goddess and to your freak side and whatever else it is, and how it can help you and create that closeness that you know need within your intimate type of relationships. And then we're going to have a bedroom candy representative there as well, you know, and she's going to have some toys and some other things that can help to bring everything together. So this is your official invite, because hubby was saying, are you telling Bryanne? I'm like, of course I am. So Monthleaf can be there as well, highlighting, and this is supposed to happen next month, so highlighting May's box. So it wasn't an invite, I was telling you. Yes. So, yeah, I am super, super excited. Now, what is going on? You know, when I'm so excited for people, it's hard for me to keep a secret. So, I mean, I don't know if it's a secret, but I want to congratulate you because personally, you have some really awesome things that have occurred. So congratulations on being a big old grown adult, because you and hubby to be are in your own shit now.
Yeah, we bought a house.
Awesome.
We have a dog now. So we're very grown up.
Yes, and a dog, a little puppy, like you
guys. So we're super grown up right now.
Right.
We're paying taxes.
Right. We go to brunch. We sit on our veranda and we have, you know. So that's really cool.
Now. So yeah, we're super grown up. We're planning our wedding for October.
Yes. But now, it seems so far away. Like when we were talking about it last year. Now you say that, I'm like, that's 6 months away.
Yeah, we still don't know where we're getting married.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're planning 2 weddings, essentially. All my family's in Canada, and the Canadian border's closed. So ideally, we would like to get married in Chicago because that's in between where my family lives, in between where my partner's family lives. But if the Canadian border's closed, we're just we're gonna have a destination wedding in our backyard.
Yeah. I just had a friend who her wedding was canceled, during postponed, and so she ended up doing a destination wedding. And I'm gonna tell you, I have never cried so much over some damn Instagram photos. Like, it was beautiful. It was at Escoret, and let's ask Auntie Google how it says. 'Cause I'm pretty sure they told us when we went Escoret.
The A letter doesn't make an A sound in Spanish, so that's why.
Anybody that's on right now, if anybody's listening, come on and tell us how it's called.
But yeah, we're planning, while you're searching for it, we're planning for a wedding in our backyard, and then we'll be virtually inviting many people. So we'll see. We'll see what the Canadian government decides, and that will decide my wedding is.
Well, if you need me to, I'll reach out to Aubrey Graham, my homie Drake, and see what he can. I'm kidding. See what he can put together. So that is awesome. Any help that you need up until close then,
of course.
Girl over here. Yeah. So it's so good to have you on, guys. We get on our Zoom calls, or we get on like this, and we just like gab, and then we're like, okay, talk to you tomorrow. And then it's like 2 months later, we're like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I never called you. But whenever we do get contact again, it's just like we've been talking every day for, however. So I am just truly, 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 and just honestly so happy for you. I think that you deserve everything perfect that's happening, for you. You work hard. Just good people. And I like to hear you say Chicago and Canada, because it's not like a huge accent, but it's lingering there a bit. So one last thing I want to share. It's something that I've been obsessing over, and I have to share. I want to give a shout out because she did like and respond to my tweet. It's fantastic. Soleil Moon Fry, Punky Brewster. She has a documentary on Hulu called Kid 90. Now you may like be able to relate to some end of that, because you're more of a, well, no, I guess you grew up in the like 90s. Yeah. I'm all, you a little young back, you don't know. But it's this awesome, it's like the ultimate time capsule. I cried. I cried with some things that she went through. I was grossed out that she considers her, I don't want to ruin it, but she considered her virginity to be taken by Charlie Sheen, who was a full-grown 29 years old, and she was like 17, maybe 18. Good Lord, Charlie. Good Lord. Yeah. So, and she has answer machine messages. Like, she has so much. But it's just, I think what was so endearing to me is that, like, it's like you, especially at that time, you'd look at celebrities, and especially like young teen celebrities like that, like, you think they were living 90210, you think they were living Saved by the Bell, type of thing. But she was going through the same insecurities, and she was a dreamer, and she was just, I think what, like, to me, it's like I saw myself, I think, in the videos and stuff. What I find awesome is that, have you seen the movie Kids?
I don't think so.
Oh, girl. We're just going to get you a list together. It's so good. I would probably say, it's tough. Kids first or Last Dragon, babe?
Last Dragon's a better movie. Kids are you gotta be high.
True.
Last Dragon, you can just watch.
Yeah. Kids, you definitely have to, like, smoke a few times, maybe, if not drink, or, take a little shroom or something.
Okay.
It's about party kids in New York in the 90s, but a couple of the actors, it was basically the director went and just hung out in Central Park and found these group of skateboarders and put them in the movie. Okay. and she ended up moving to New York and was part of their crew. So it's just for me being fans of theirs, and then I loved Punky Brewster. I actually knew before they made the announcement that they were doing a reboot. I have receipts and facts. I spoke with Cherry, who was her best friend, through Instagram because I noticed a post one day and I was like, hey, so being that everything is being rebooted, were you and Soleil together because of that? And she messaged me and was like, we're going to make the announcement, but you're absolutely right. And I was like, shut up. Yeah. So, anywho.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I want to give her kudos. It was one for her to open up her diaries and her videos and the loss that she's had. She lost 8 people during her adolescence during this time. And I even realized, do you remember the actor Jonathan Brandis? Do you remember the movie Ladybugs?
Yes.
The cute kid, the son that Rodney Dangerfield was. He committed suicide.
Oh, I
didn't know that.
Realize that.
Yes, didn't know that. I can't believe I just remembered he was in Ladybugs because I was trying to remember the other day what he was from.
I did not realize that. That makes me so sad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she dealt with a lot. That's their actual brother. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, we can ask Auntie Google. But anywho, please, it's a must watch. It's a must watch. My other must watch is the new Law and Order. Organized crime. Stabler's back. If you are a fan of Law and Order, it is really good, really freaking good. So that's gonna be my Mary Jane.
Did you watch Bad Trip on Netflix?
What? What was that? It sounds familiar.
So it is like the people that made Jackass made the movie, and it was one of the funniest movies I've seen recently.
It's on my list. Okay, yeah.
Yes, there's like some real actors in it, and they film scenes in public, and the people that are around them have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, it's okay. They got it on
are
Brilliant Idiots. Yeah. Okay, so I'll definitely be adding. I will admit that since we are more frequent viewers of YouTube, I literally go between YouTube and Hulu, and I'm like, oh, Netflix, but especially because they took all the good shit off to put on like HBO Max and everything else. Oh, yeah. One last shout out, Paramount Plus. It is worth paying the $5.99 a month to have the streaming service. If you are a fan of The Real World, they did a reunion of the very first season, 30 freaking years later, which holy shit made me feel old, especially when my son sat here and went, so you were 4, and I was like, I was there. I know how old I was when it came on. But also it's a great piece of content that even in the first episode, you realize we have not moved much farther than where we were in 1992. A couple of the not characters, but the cast members were talking. When they first moved into the loft in 1992, 93, Anita Hill was the Me Too movement. Rodney King was George Floyd, but he survived. But when they said that, I literally, the hair on my arms just stood up because I was like, holy, what, the only thing that's changed? Now they're actually killing, or they're getting this woman, canceled, or she's in a sex ring or something like that now. Like it's progressed. It hasn't gotten any better. That's the scary thing. But, and then if you're a fan of any of the challenges, the Real World Road Rules challenges, they are doing an all-star, and they should just call it the oldest folks that we could get because, man, some of them look like they've been living life. But it's really good to see if you watched it, at the height of the Real World Road Rules challenges. It's really cool to see people in their adulthood, and where they've gotten or when they have not. But so yeah, so those are my recommendations, guys. I don't think I have a song recommendation for this week because we've been pretty much listening to our regular playlist. Oh no, I lied. Kings of Leon has a new album.
Apparently,
Yes.
Justin Bieber also released a new album.
He did. Yes, my YouTube was like just full of it.
So I gotta do a shout out for him.
I like the Biebs. I like the Biebs. I'm team him. I will say I'm not wishing anybody's marriage, any harm, but I don't think that's gonna.
He's made a lot of mistakes. He's made a lot of poor choices in his life.
He's doing he's doing what the rest of us did in spotlight of our family and under the eyes of our family and friends in front of everybody, and I couldn't imagine trying to figure out whether I want to be committed to the religion that I grew up under when I think he's starting to see a lot of hypocrisy and I think and just questioning a lot. I like the kid. He's talented. One of my favorite songs of this past year he did, which was the Drake song where he did the video where he was like acting like Drake. Pop star, love it. I do some of the routine as if I'm a dancer. It's great. But yeah, so shout out to Foo Fighters and Kings of Leon because they both have come out with new albums. I have been talking about how that would be my ultimate concert if Stain, Kings of Leon, Foo Fighters, and I said Bush would get back, would do something. I'm speaking this shit into existence because the Kings of Leon fell off years ago. Foo Fighters are always fire. And I was this close to getting freaking tickets at a Kings game. But that lets you know how much the Kings suck. I can't even get a ticket. No. All right. So, yes, this is why we got on like half an hour before we started so that we could talk. And we're still talking for like 2 hours. But it is always a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
Guys, if you want to gift your loved one, if you want to gift yourself, if you want to gift your boo, if you are a Canna couple and you guys are going to have a nice 420 date, go ahead and get yourself a monthly box. And then take advantage of a discount. I mean, come on, we all know we like to hook up. And this is a hookup for you to be able to receive 20% off over the next 4 months, right? Awesome. Like I said, I'm going to take advantage. And she's a sponsor for the show. So if you guys have any questions, definitely where to hit me up. You may also see her IG. Hubby has it, of course, this awesome producer of mine. And hubby of mine, he has her IG, the website going across the banner. But you guys know that you can reach out. We are live every week, guys. And I like to talk. So maybe next week you guys want to call on in. Maybe later this week, if you guys have any questions or concerns, I like to do some, listener letters and solve all your problems because when it's my own, I don't know what to do. But yours, I got it. So a huge shout out, 5 lighters. Isn't that what Source used to do? Like Mike's. It was Mike's. Just kidding. Well, here, 5 lighters to everybody that had a hand in moving cannabis forward over this last week. 5 lighters to you for being my dear friend, for being so awesome, for being a just upstanding representative of a woman cannabis owner, and what you can do with the proper support and when you keep the business and the customers in mind and not the green. We don't want this to be a green rush here. Yeah. Shout out to our local heroes in cannabis for this week. And like I said, shout out to all the states. Much love and energy to DMX. I can't wait to hear your testimony because I know you're going to have a great one. And once again, congratulations to you. Before we know it, we're going to be like taking you out for your bachelor party. That'll probably be when everything opens back up. Probably.
Yeah, absolutely. They're saying June 15th, everything's opening back
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. And I think poor Newsom, because they're trying to kick this man out. And I think he's done a great job, but we don't have to talk about that. But I think he's only giving that date because he's like, look, guys, you guys will have a summer. Don't recall me just that fast. But
Yeah.
I like Newbie, which is he looks like he has a lot of grease of mousse in his hair. I like him. So yeah, so thank you so much once again. We
You.
will be talking. We will be. It's not going to be like another 3 months. We will be talking soon.
Absolutely.
I will send you the date. It should be the first weekend in May for the Spring Awakening. I think it's going to be that Sunday, but I'll let you know for sure.
Okay.
And don't be surprised when you see my order come through, because I think I definitely want to give me a box and maybe give my dad the bubbler or something.
Perfect.
But yes, I want to let you guys know that I missed you. It feels so good to be back. I know I look fire in my glasses. I know. Hubby makes fun of me because I need them, not just they're cute. But yes, I am going to be having, like I said, a product review of Can. I'm actually also wanting to do a product review of King Palms, and I am going to do a make your own. You know, if you like to maybe shine a little bit during your special time and use like baby oil, let's go ahead and replace that with, you know, some infused body shimmer or body oil or whatever you want to call it. And then you guys stay tuned because the Mary Jane Maven Marketplace, it's coming. It's coming.
Ooh.
So you guys know what to do. Please like. You want to smash that like and that follow. I've been wanting to say that for a while now. Smash it. And share it. Please let everybody else know about your girl, the Mary Jane Maven. Thank you guys so much. Once again, I missed you, but it feels good to be back. You guys have a blessed and prosperous week, and I will see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Damn.